We'll start by talking about the area you stay in South Cyprus. So whether you're a student, you're an immigrant, you're coming here to Cyprus to work, or what, you're a tourist, we are just going to cover how much it will cost you to stay in South Cyprus. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Grace here. I hope you guys are doing fine, because I'm doing super great. It's already summer here in South Cyprus. So I'm a student here in South Cyprus. For those of you that are joining us for the first time, you're welcome. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for the love and support. So without further ado, let's get into today's topic. We are going to be talking about cost of living in South Cyprus. How much does this cost to stay in South Cyprus monthly? We are going to be covering everything about it. I hope this will get to answer all the questions I've been getting lately on this question. We are going to begin by talking about the cost of accommodation in South Cyprus. Now, we already know that South Cyprus is a European country and everything is done using euros. So depending on where you stay, we have 4 areas in South Cyprus. We have Paphos, we have Limassol, we have Larnaka, and we have Nicosia. Nicosia is where you have most of the universities and colleges here in South Cyprus. So it's usually the cheapest compared to Limassol and Larnaka. Now for Nicosia, you can see houses from 250 down onto, from 250 up onto what have you. It's dependent on how old the house is, how furnished the house is, the area in Nicosia where the house is. Definitely we have some villages here in Nicosia like Gary. Those places you can see houses, a good furnished house around 250 euros a month, 300 a month. Then these are for normal studio apartment. Then if you want a 1-bedroom 2-bedroom apartment in Nicosia, it's going to range from 700 to 1,250, 1,300, depending on what you want. If you want a luxury apartment, it's going to be more expensive compared to just the normal type of apartment. Then for houses in Larnaka, you get houses within you get apartments, a 1-bedroom apartment in Larnaka you can get from 600 and above. Then in Limassol, houses are very expensive in Limassol compared to any other part of South Cyprus, because that's where you have the international hub. A lot of companies are there. Everybody wants to stay in Limassol because of the accessibility to jobs and all of that. So the pack is high, and so is the rent, the accommodation fee. So it's for Limassol, you can always budget from 700 to what have you. So that's for accommodation. We are going to talk about the next thing we'll have today, which is transportation. Now, because of the way the transport system works in Cyprus, if you have commute, a means of commute, you have your own car, with 30 euros a week, you will be able to drive to work, go out in the evening. It's pretty good, and that's because the Ukraine Russian war is really increasing the fuel price and all of that. Even electricity bills now is like almost double because of what's going on currently in the world. So if you don't have your own personal car, you can always get a bus card. If you've not used a bus card before, you have to register with 25 euros. Then if you're renewing it, is 20 euros. So with that card, you can use the Cyprus bus and commute to wherever you're going to. Although the bus system is not very effective here, but if you don't have a car, you can either use that or you can use a taxi. A taxi costs around, depending on where you're going to, a taxi is always handy, but more expensive compared to when you're having your own personal car. Yeah, then we are going to be talking about the cost of feeding. So guys, I'm going into the mall of Engomi now so you get to see what it is like to spend monthly on feeding. Although feeding is relatively dependent on individual, I'm just going to stop by to shop some few things, and then we'll talk more about the cost of feeding here in Nicosia, which is where I currently stay, or in Cyprus in general, and you get to see. Now it's dependent whether you're vegan, whether you eat you're a non-vegan. It's dependent on that. For Nicosia, the prices of food is not that expensive, especially when you're buying from the market or a very big mall. If you're buying from the little shops, it may be more expensive depending on your appetite. As a student, I spend around 100 euros a month for just normal food stuff. I didn't include going out buying something else here. Yeah, so normal food stuff, because I like cooking. I am a foodie. I like eating a lot, so I make most of my meals at home, and I snack once in a while outside. Basically I spend about 100 euros for food stuff monthly. So if you're staying in other parts of Cyprus, it may be less expensive or more expensive. I don't have all the data, but I think it wouldn't be that much. And also, if you're a non-vegan, beef is always more expensive in Cyprus compared to chicken, and pork is also relatively cheap. You have other proteins. You can also use fish, is also it's fairly better than meat, beef in Cyprus. They also have lambs, so that's that for feeding. And also you need to consider that your feeding is dependent on you. Like, you may not be eating too much. I'm a foodie, I eat a lot, so that's what I spend. So it's dependent on your person, what you like. Do you like eating out? Do you like eating in? And all of that. For salads, if you want to eat a salad outside, the menu is usually in an average restaurant is usually within 13 to 15 euros, so it's not that expensive. Now for outdoor activities, if you want to come to South Cyprus, maybe you like clubbing, you like hiking. I love hiking. You like going to the beach. With 20 euros you can that if you don't, you can go to the beach and relax for just 20 euros. Of course, you're eating just something little, but if you want to like go for clubbing, from 25 euros and above, you can get tickets, an average ticket in Ayia, in Limassol, in Paphos. They also have VIP tickets up to 50 euros, and some are even higher than that, depending on what you like to do. And go to a coffee shop, hang out with your friends, do what you want to do. It's not really that expensive. Then if you're into scuba diving, it's around 700 euros and above, the last time I checked. And other recreational activities like going to watch horse racing and some other fun things you can do in South Cyprus. Going to, I think for going to the club on a regular basis here is about 15 euros here in Nicosia, but in Paphos and Larnaka and Ayia it's a little bit more expensive than that, and you get to buy drinks also. Little bills, like, man, my bills increased twice the price when I got my last bill, because bills come bi-monthly, that's every two months. So utility bills, if you're staying in an apartment where you pay for water, you pay for electricity bill, maybe you pay for washing, it's dependent. Like where I say I only pay for electricity bill, and when my bill came out early this month, it was 51 euros. Normally it wouldn't exceed 23 euros. That's the highest I've paid since I moved into my new apartment. And I use electricity in cooking, and trust me, I cook a lot, so that's it for electricity bill. If you usually spend a little for electricity bill, you have to double that fee because of the price of electricity now that has gone up. So basically, staying in Cyprus is not as expensive as some other European country. It's not really on the high side. You just have to do what fits your budget. And don't forget to like and subscribe. If you have any questions, always drop your comments. I will reply within 48 hours. And so that's about cost of living in South Cyprus. I hope I've been able to answer all your questions about how much you need to budget for monthly spending when you want to stay in South Cyprus. So guys, thank you so much for your time. Till I see you again. Cheers.